It's a question that's exploding on the internet. Since all life must die, what is the point of living? It wasn't until I accidentally came across this mind-blowing animated short film that I found the true meaning of life. Two explorers were about to reach the top of a mountain after a long and arduous trek. But at that moment, a 100-meter-wide abyss blocks their way. The black-haired boy thought for a long time and took one step forward despite the danger. Unexpectedly, the broken wooden planks were able to bear his weight. Then the two of them smiled at each other and started to collect the discarded boards and fix them with ropes. In this way, they soon built a bridgehead. When they carefully walked up to the bridge, they found that the planks were still able to hold them up. As they looked across the cliff, they saw hope. The girls from the neighboring villages were watching. In order to get more wood, they took up their axes and went into the forest to collect wood. At night, although there were more and more villagers watching, none of them chose to help. No one believed they could make it to the other side. And the only one who cheered them on was that little girl. The next day, the two explorers began to build the bridge. First, they made a bridge frame, and then they used ropes to build a new bridge, using a tree on the edge of the cliff as a point of gravity, and extended it to the other side. After several days of tireless effort, they successfully extended the broken bridge to a stone pillar in the middle of the cliff. Then the two men tied a rope to the stone, and with a push, the first bridge was built. At this point, the blond boy fired a flare to bring the message of success to the villagers. Perhaps impressed by their persistence, everyone cheered along with them. But just a few weeks later, a gale blew in the distant sky. The two men decided to raise a canvas over the broken bridge, in the hope that this would enable the bridge to weather the storm. Soon the storm was upon them. The villagers, directed by the mayor, all took refuge in the safe house. But the girl refused to go inside. She looked at the two men in the distance with worry in her eyes. Seeing that the wooden bridge could not withstand the violent winds, the blond boy immediately used an axe to cut the ropes that held the canvas in place. The whole bridge flew up in the air. Seeing this, they decided to use the wind to force their way across. This is the moment of truth. But just then, a bolt of lightning fell from the sky. The trees at the edge of the cliff began to sway. The fixed ropes are also rising from the ground. Seeing the broken bridge falling, the girl immediately rushed to the big tree, picked up a rope, and pulled back desperately. Unfortunately, her strength is too small. The tree is not affected in the slightest. When she was about to be pulled out, a strong force miraculously pulled the tree back. It turned out that all the villagers had rushed over and worked together to hold up the broken bridge again. At that moment, the black-haired boy leaped and reached the other side of the bridge. When he turned back to pull his companion, the bridge suddenly broke. The blond boy was trapped on the bridge, and he realized that his life was doomed to end here. Looking at the abyss below him and the villagers behind him, he decided to let go of the rope. And at the last moment of his life, he pulled out his flare gun and shot into the sky again. Then he fell into the abyss forever. On the other side, the villagers, who thought they had failed, cheered when they saw the brilliant fireworks in the sky, because it meant that the two had successfully reached the other side unbeknownst to them. This is actually the yellow-haired boy's last moment of life to bring hope and gratitude to the villagers. If you ask me what the meaning of life is, I think it's the process of growing and experiencing in life. When we face all the challenges and difficulties in life with a positive and optimistic mindset, cherish every moment and feel the beauty of life with all our heart. In this way, no matter when you finally experience happiness and fulfillment through your efforts, that's the true meaning of life for you.